I'm Darrell Ross, and you can find me at morebusinessmorelifenow.com. What I like to do is help business owners increase their sales through better marketing techniques, networking, etc., so that they can have a business that works for them instead of them working for their business. And I'm very excited today to be speaking with a good friend of mine, Mr. Mark Bossert. And we're going to find out more about what Mark does and how he helps business owners increase their sales. Mark, take it away.
So, Darrell, how are you doing this morning?
I'm well, thank you. And how about you?
I'm good. So our business, basically, for the last 11 years, we've worked with local businesses doing a combination of search optimization and content creation. And about, 7 years ago, we started experimenting with using video. That's become the major part of our business and is actually our main focus now. We work pretty exclusively with creating content for customers. The search optimization stuff kind of comes and goes, but the content always has to be good, always has to be there. So that's what we focus on. Doing this, basically, talking over video, creating a conversation, creating value for people about, okay, well, who is it? What do you do? How do you provide value? What are some tips that can help people?
Mm-hmm. Great. And I know there's a few clients you've been working with consistently for a long time. Maybe you could just share a quick example of someone who's generated a ton of results as a result of this strategy.
Well, our first experimental client who kind of got this going was an auto repair place, Pollock Automotive in Vancouver. Bernie actually was producing his own videos, creating these long videos. It would take him a couple of weeks to shoot and edit and put together these long videos. And I just had a brainstorm, like, why don't we just do it live? We'll have the questions, we'll just do it. And it's, 7 years later, we do 2 of those every week, pretty much all year long. In the meantime, his business has won Best in Vancouver, Best Auto Repair Shop in Vancouver, 22 times. And they do a good job, obviously. They're a good operator. But also, this is the main focus of his business. His business has tripled in revenue, doubled in size. He's got a lot more technicians, a lot more bays. He's busy all the time. And the only thing other than a networking thing that he goes to, a live in-person networking thing that he's done for, I think, almost 20 years, is this, creating videos every single week. And we do the car repair of the week. We talk about all makes and models of cars and all types of repairs. And that, silly as that sounds, that has worked well enough to triple his business in the last 7 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so he's an auto repair shop. What other types of businesses would benefit the most from your service?
Well, pretty much anyone. I mean, we've done it with dentists, doctors, chiropractors, physiotherapists, but also plumbers and electricians and all sorts of things. So it's having the need or the want within oneself to spread the message about what kind of work you do. What's the quality of work you do? Who are you and what's it like to do business with you? And when you do that, it creates results. Typically, our customers double their business in the first year. We pretty much guarantee that it's a 40% increase in that first year after they start with us. But honestly, they double if they do it, if they're consistent. Now, that's the magic bullet out of all of it, is that if they're not consistent, if they do it for 6 weeks and quit, or if they do it for 3 months and quit, well, it's like advertising. If you don't keep doing it, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It is advertising, actually, that doesn't cost much in terms of time and effort in comparison to, say, the other ways that you could do this if you were trying to do social media, posting every day, which you pretty much have to do to make social media work, or if you're trying to write a blog post a month kind of thing. There's companies that charge $5,000 and up for that blog post a month, and they're professionally produced wonderful content, and it works, but man, it's expensive for a small business to do that.
Yeah.
And so our system is really well developed at this point. We just create great results for people.
Awesome. And yeah, you mentioned, they have to be committed. So, your ideal clients, how committed are they? So I know Bernie's been exceptionally committed. What are you looking for when you're working with somebody?
Well, someone who's self-directed. Most small businesses are very self-directed. Mm-hmm. They tend to be great technicians and horrible at marketing. Yeah. And that's a problem. I mean, the hat actually needs to switch the other way as fast as possible as you become less of a technician and become more of a marketer. Mm-hmm. And you've hired other technicians to provide the service, and you're working in your business or on your business rather than in your business. So that's the challenge. what we found is that this way of creating content takes typically an hour a week
Okay.
to have that kind of doubling of your business in the first year. And it does not stop. It continues to grow after that. It just depends on how good an operator you are, how good are you at hiring, how good are you at getting, more office space, et cetera, et cetera. All the other challenges of growing a business are still there. We've
Right.
just amplified it with a really good marketing system.
Okay, excellent. And so typically, how do clients usually find your business?
Well, word of mouth has been how we've done this, and that's my fault. Again, working in the business rather than on the business, I haven't created enough of these. And so that's the major change in our business is we're with the pandemic and all these changes taking place, we see a major opportunity. I've done well over 1,000 of these. I don't care anymore how I look. We have a good system for how it sounds, so we can help people with how to do this, how to find their voice, how to be natural on camera. So that expands our market a great deal. And so that's what we're expanding into, is teaching courses essentially in how to be yourself and market yourself using video and have meetings, etc., on whichever platform you want to use. We're using Zoom today, but there's many platforms.
Right. And so maybe just mention a couple of those. Which platforms do you like the best?
Well, I like Zoom the best so far. There's almost an unbelievable number of them. So I can't even remember them all. Pexip, Microsoft Meeting, Google Meet, of course, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Those are all, the kind of basic ones. But the bigger things have issues perhaps with privacy or with security. Zoom had some issues that they're definitely taken care of at this point, in my opinion. And then there's other ones that are more locked down that you haven't ever heard of.
Right.
And then if I mention them, people wouldn't even know. There's lists. And we'll actually provide a list underneath this of some of the other options that are available. And people should try them. There's other options out there.
And you touched on this a little bit, but what can people expect when using your service?
Well, basically that there's someone there who's going to show up and going to send them an invite and say, hey, where are you? This is our time. Being regularly scheduled and having someone to partner with is what makes it doable. Otherwise, it's real easy when you're on your own to keep grinding that you have to do this every week. The urgent will always overtake the important. And this is important for most businesses, but it's the rare ones that honestly are able to do it all by themselves. And those guys who can do all that stuff by themselves, they've become extremely successful. So it's not an issue. They know it works. Our system is for the people who are struggling perhaps a little bit with getting that first initial go happening and need some help, need a partner to work with them, because doing this interview style of a video is much easier. I don't know, what's your experience? Isn't it easier than just sitting there in front of the camera and going, oh no, now what am I going to say?
Yeah. No, hey, this is a lot easier. And I can say even just in our short time together, I've been thinking about doing videos for a long time, thinking about it, not doing it. And, now you and I have shot several of these already. So, I've noticed a difference right away. And
you're a lot more comfortable on camera because we're just talking to each other. It's not like, the weirdness of staring into that eye and going, we're having a conversation. That's all. Just like we would if we were sitting down for coffee. And so it's a lot more comfortable. It's easier. Who you are comes across, which is what you want. That's how you attract more customers into your business, by talking about what you do, the value you provide, and then, who you are, basically. Excellent. Well, thanks a lot, Mark. That's great insight into what you're doing, and I'm sure you'll provide some contact information for people who would like to get in touch. Yeah, you can check us out at toplocalrankings.com. We have some other properties that we're in development of right now, but more about that to come. Excellent. Thanks.